Hi, my name is Efe, and as you can see, I love manga because I'm about to show you how to use it to basically get a life. Now, this video will be in a new style, which is essentially a presentation, so if you do enjoy this video, make sure you let us know by liking the video and by leaving your comments down below. Additionally, Update version 4 is out right now for the MangaDIET.com, and it came with our new battle system. This is by far the easiest way to make friends not just who like manga, but also to do activities with them. So if you haven't seen it, go to the MangaDIET.com right now and try it out for free. It's insane. Now, without further ado, let's get into the video that you came here to see. Enjoy.
Alright guys, so today we are going to be covering how to use manga to create a social life. This is essentially the core of ManDIET after version 4 updates. As you know, if you've been to the website or you saw the last video, it is make manga friends. That is the core, the tagline, or whatever you want to call it, right? So how do you actually use manga to create a social life? Well, first, we need to start off with what is a social life to begin with, okay? Because there are different definitions that people have for what it means to have a social life. But I feel like if we describe, if we determine the definition of a social life right out the gate, my definition of it, then you will understand what went into building what we have now, okay? So my definition of having a social life is the following. First is having friends. Now, there are some people who I have to mention this before because some people think that because they have people that they're not friends with, that they talk to, that they still have a social life. Now, I do not think that's the case, okay? If you can't take a picture with someone like this, right? They're probably not your friends, okay? So this is one of, if not the most important component to having a social life. So if you do not have friends right now, don't even worry, but it means you don't have a social life, okay? You need friends and you need consistent activities that you can do with them, okay? So it's not enough to just say, I have friends, because a lot of you know this if you have reached adult age, right? If you're still in high school, under 18, right? It's gonna hit you so fast. But me, 25 years old now, bruh, I'm gonna tell you right now, you can have a lot of friends, but if you're not doing consistent activities with them, right? Like you're not talking to them consistently, you're not doing events, like you're not going to events with them consistently, then guess what? You still don't have a social life, okay? You must have both. Some people just have friends that they don't do things with consistently. You have no social life. Some people have people that they do consistent activities with, but they're not their friends. You don't have a social life, okay? But I'm socially interacting with people. Well, let me tell you, that is not fulfilling, okay? And you probably know that, okay? So you need both of these, right? And it can't just be anyone, right? Like I said, having shared interest is pretty much the determining factor between like friends and just people that you know. I just want to throw that out there, okay? So, problems you face as a manga fan when it comes to creating a social life, right? When it comes to making friends with similar interests and doing consistent activities with them, right? You're in the minority, okay? Manga fans are a minority group. Okay, look at Pun Pun here, right? He's standing out in a crowd of people that pretty much look similar. I know, but if she's got a scarf on, mask, boy, they still look the same. Why are manga fans in a minority group? Because it's not as popular as anime. It will never be as popular as anime, okay? Even though anime has gotten so popular, right? Where it's like it's not even underground, it's mainstream now. Everyone likes anime now, right? Manga is a form of entertainment that you literally have to be so present for because you're literally reading, okay? So that means you took time out of your day to choose to sit down and read. Like you can't, it's hard to eat and read. Like you have to be so present for that activity. So people who read manga, like I think you're glazing them kind of, I know, but like manga is an activity that you have to set aside time for. You can path anime playing when you're not even looking at it, okay? You can't do that with manga and understand what's going on. So that makes it hard for people to actually choose that over the counterpart, which is anime, which puts you in the minority group, okay? So if anime is already getting mainstream, but there's still billions of people who don't even watch anime, right? Think about how many people out there read manga. It's minuscule, okay? Ask me how I know. That is the biggest problem that you face, is that there's just not a lot of people that like manga. Okay. Second problem is solo activities. Okay. In this panel here, we have Hild. This is when she was a kid. This is from Vinland Saga. She was just building stuff inside of her, not a garage, because they didn't have that in like the Viking days, but like her basement or something, right? The thing about manga is that most of the activities that surround manga are solo activities, okay? Just like she's here working on something by herself, and you can see all the things that she's made in the past. It's the same thing with manga. If you're a manga writer, okay, most of the time you can't write with people at the same time, right? It's like, okay, if you're doing a project with someone, even, it's like, okay, I'm writing this part, let me send it to them, blah blah, oh, they checked it, whatever, and then I'm back to being solo like this, right? If you draw, you know that drawing is a solo activity. Like I said, there's parts of the process that might have you interacting with people, but for the most part, if you are a manga fan, most of the activities you do are going to be alone. You're reading manga by yourself. You're not, oh, bruh, you're never gonna have your manga open and be like, okay, I'm gonna read this page out loud and you read this page out loud. I do that with my son, but you probably don't do that, okay? Most of the activities are solo. These are huge problems, because how are you gonna have a social life if the stuff that you like to do for fun requires you to be alone? How are you gonna have a social life if it's hard enough to find people who have similar interests as you? Very, very tough. Solutions. Now, there are solutions to this problem, because, you know, it's 2025. These problems have been here for a long time now, but there are solutions to these problems that are already available to you that you might not be taking advantage of. So I'm going to talk about those now. So first thing is changing locations. What do you mean by changing locations? Think about it. I live in Ohio, right? I'll just say that. Bruh, there's nothing here. That's why you keep seeing the memes about Ohio. It's because there's actually nothing here, right? So if you wanted to build a social life, right, as a manga fan, if you really, really like manga, even if you like it a little bit, blah, blah, you have a lower chance of making a social life around that in Ohio. True. But you have a higher chance of making a social life as a manga fan if you went to somewhere like California, right? They have expos there all around. They have plenty of like manga chain stores that you can buy from. Like they have Book Off and stuff like that. We don't got that here, bruh. Efe, why are you pissed? Because I love Book Off, man. I went to California. It was a great experience there. I stayed in the stores for a long time because I was like, man, this is great. We have Barnes and Nobles. That's pretty much it here in Ohio, okay? But the anime manga culture in California is damn near massive, right? Because that's like I'd say this, California is like a main character state. That's what I'll say. I say Ohio's a main character state as well, but only because of the memes, not because it has anything there. But California is a main character state because everything is there. Famous people go there, live there, not even go there. The stores are there. Everything is there. Literally everything's there, okay? So California is a good spot to be at if you want to find more people who have similar interests to you in terms of manga, anime, etc. Another place, Chicago, okay? They also hold a lot of conventions there. Now, I have not personally been to Chicago before, but from professionals that I know, they go in and out of Chicago frequently because there's a large manga market there, okay? Any place that has a lot of exhibitions, like year-round, Chicago, California, right? That is a good place for you to meet people who also like manga, because there's a lot of opportunities there, naturally, right? Now, places outside of the US, we have France, okay? Now, did you know that France is actually the second biggest comic manga market in the whole planet? Like, not even joking. They do not play about their comics in France. If you've never been to France, facts, but I know. Literally, I'm not even gonna tell you, bro. When I was in Japan, the second time, like, you wouldn't even believe how many French people I met there. Like, not even just when I was in Japan, but like every time it's about manga, bruh. Like, most of my friends, not even most, I'd say a good chunk of my friends are actually French. That's not a coincidence, because my only real like hobby is manga. Okay, so if I can have a lot in common with people and they're mostly French, that also plays a role into just knowing like the legitimacy of France being a huge manga market. They have conventions all the time. Even like a lot there's foreign there are foreign professional manga artists that came from France. Okay, you would think that America was like, I would think that America was like the second biggest market for comics, but no, we don't read here. We don't read. But obviously the best place to be at is Japan. Naturally, it's the home of manga. Changing locations, being there will guarantee that you will find people every single day that like manga. Okay, so this is the first solution. And obviously, changing locations is not reasonable for a large group of people. So we will touch on things that are more reasonable as we go on. But I just wanted to give you this because it is an option. Okay, more solutions. Group activities that you can do right now. Clubs. Okay, when I was in high school, right? When I was a freshman in high school, at my first high school, they had an anime club. They had an anime club, and guess what? Everyone in there liked anime and manga. That is a good way that you can meet people to expand your social life, okay? Because we have the same interest. But the problem with that was that it was cringe. Even me in high school, right? It was still cringe. But that's because around the time I was in high school, like manga was not popular. It was frowned upon. Everyone thought that it was gay, and that if you liked anime, that basically you watched hentai and stuff like that. So it was very frowned upon at that time. So that's kind of also why it was cringe even to me, like liking it. But that has changed now. When I was in college, there were manga clubs in college. Okay, it was not cringe around that time. I think you're not that old. Facts. That's what I'm telling you, that even recently, the clubs now, there's opportunities for you to find those clubs nowadays. That's what I'm trying to say. Next up, debates. Okay, this is more like just talking to people. Okay, so when I say debates, this is literally what I do. So my brother also likes anime, reads manga, right? From time to time, I'll just go to him and I'll tell him like, JJK, that John was trash. And then we'll just start talking about it, okay? You can have debates is pretty much the not carrying the discussion community, but it kind of is. I mean, people like to discuss what they read, what they watched, and this is a very easy way to get like to do a little social thing, right? It's not something you can really plan though. Like, guys, let's all decide to get together on Saturday and just argue about what anime is our favorite. You could do that, honestly, but that's pretty much not realistic for a lot of people. But just talk to people about stuff that you like, and then naturally it will create debates. Okay. Last group activity, working together. Okay. This is like making manga together. Okay. If you have a friend that's, and they like manga as well, guys, how about you write it and I'll draw it, blah, blah, Bakuman, right? Working together is a good group activity you can do to help your social life. So I would definitely recommend it, but I don't think I would recommend it now. These used to be the best ways that I could think of, right? Because this is what I would do, right? I would go to clubs, I would have debates with people, and I would work with people, okay? But it's 2025. What is the 2025 way? What is the most effective way to build that social life today, right? It's online, okay? Online is just way more efficient, right? So you can do all of these things, everything I've listed before, right? It is more efficient to do it online because everyone who's a part of an online community has already shown that they have the same interest as you, right? So you don't have to get to know somebody and then figure out, oh yeah, we don't even share interest. This is pointless, right? So look at this. We have stuff like My Anime List now, right? This is a Spy Family Chapter 17 discussion, right? You just get on here, You just vote whether you liked it or not, blah blah, and then you just read people's comments. This chapter felt so really short. I might respond like, man, no, it was long, blah blah. You can talk with people from no matter where you are. That is the beauty of the 2025 way, which is just that we have so many different online resources that make it easy for you to build that social life. Now, it's not the same as it being in real life, but it can turn into it being in real life if you build a connection with those people. But let's continue. Other ways that we have now. Reddit, okay? This is from the Manga Collectors Reddit, right? Bro said, is it time to invest in a bookcase? And 98 comments, they're probably like, look, he put it, because obviously, he put his manga in the fridge. People probably commented, so funny. Yeah, I think you should get a bookcase. You know what I mean? But this is fun, I mean, we need stuff like this from time to time, and we have the option to look at that kind of stuff from time to time now with Reddit and Instagram and things like that. So this is another way in which you can build your social life by finding people to talk to on Reddit, Instagram, joining those discussions. Yeah. We have Discord now. Okay. When I was in high school, no, Discord still existed when I was in high school, right? But people were not using it. I didn't know a single person that used Discord. I didn't even know what Discord was pretty much until I was like a senior in high school. So like, I'm sure people were using it, but we have so many more Discords now. There's Discords about different types of manga, different fandoms. There is plenty of options out there now. So amazing. And Gonmo. Now I mentioned here, right, that you can work together with people on manga, right? Now we have online services like Gonmo where you can go and find assistants to work on manga with you. Now, I've never heard about Gonmo in my freaking life. This is insane. I know it is. It's not new though. It's been out for a long time, but there's a catch. It is in Japanese. You can use it still as a foreigner, and you can just put, in your bio or whatever that, I don't speak Japanese, or put your language and stuff, but expect to translate if you're going to use it, but it's still an option. These are all just options, right? There's still more options that I haven't even listed. They're not even in this PowerPoint, but all that to say is that there are options now to solve this problem. The problem that we're here for, right? Creating a social life. If you want to create that social life, you have so many options now, okay? But all of these options I've listed so far still have problems, okay? But the one option that does not have problems is the mangadiet.com, okay? FA, what is the Manga Diet? If you do not know what that is, I highly recommend you check out this video right here where we go over everything that the platform has to offer. But with our new version 4 updates, it is so simple to make manga friends. On the homepage of the mangadiet.com, there's a button that says how it works. Once you click on it, it gives you this tutorial here, okay? 3 steps. Step 1, register. Create your free account to begin your journey. Step 2, pair. Find a partner based on your shared manga interest. Step 3, battle. Tackle daily, weekly, and monthly manga-related quests together. This is what the pair section will look like. You get on here, you'll see that people post things that they want to do. Manga-related activities that they want help with, that they want people to do with them, okay? As you can see, I have one on here right now. Need 19 additional people for a massive manga convention, right? If you were interested, all you have to do is send me a join request. Easy. And if you want to create your own post, you just hit the new post button here and post what you need help with. For example, let's say that you like to write manga, right? I want to beat the 6 beat sheet weekly challenge. Need a serious writer to team up with. Interest, quest type, post. So easy. It's so easy, I don't even have much to say. All you have to do is go to the mangadiet.com and you will make manga friends as long as you use it. That is it, okay? But let's look at the battle section. So boom, we have battles on there, okay? What are battles? Battles are basically quests that you can do with a partner, okay? Wow, paste your proof link. That's just where you go and you post a link to see your submission, okay? For example, let's say here it says read any manga chapter, write 1 sentence on the main takeaway of your emotions, share it with your pair. Let's say you wanted to post the link to you sharing it with your pair, right? And you did it on Discord. All you do, copy the link to the message, paste it in the proof link and submit, you will get XP. We check those, so make sure you're not sending just random stuff in, because we will see it and then we will take away your XP. It's not even worth it. I don't know why someone would do that, but if you really want to make friends, it's so simple. Just paste a proof link, you get the XP. You invite a friend, invite a pair that you made from this previous page, right? And then you get double the XP because you guys both completed it. So insanely easy. Next up, we have projects, okay? This is where you can host projects, okay? Projects are for more than 2 people, okay? So let's say that you wanted to host a multi-editor project, which is what I have here right now. But let's say you wanted to do something even simpler. Like, let's say you wanted to make a manga, okay? Obviously, if you want to make a manga and you need 4 assistants, you could host a project. Just go to the pair page, new post, quest type, projects, pick a project, and then name it and post it. If anyone wants to join, they'll send you a request. You let them in. You guys can finish the project together. There's somewhere that it just keeps everything organized for you here so that you guys can finish your project and close it when you're done. So simple. Image submissions may go on our social media. So for example, let's say you're doing a drawing quest and it's like, I'm trying to think of one that makes sense for here. Let's say you're doing a drawing quest that's just like, draw something requested by your partner, okay? And then you send what was requested by your partner, and we're like, oh, this is cool. We'll post it on our social media. Free advertisement for you. So easy. This is so easy, bruh. This is so easy. I don't even know what to say. I'm just looking at it and I'm like, wow, pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, very simple. Because what this does for you is solves the 2 problems that we listed at the front, right? Finding people with shared interest, making friends with them, and then doing activities consistently. So one last thing on ManDIET. If you want to get the membership, it's on the shop page. Go to the shop page and just click ManDIET membership. We also have the ManDIET meal here and the merch order form. Self-explanatory, but if you need help with it, just click see details. This is what the membership purchase screen looks like. It's very cheap. There's a yearly option. If you want to see the benefits that you get, just click the video there. But pretty much it just makes everything better for you. Everything you can do right now for free that I already listed, right? But the membership just makes it even easier. So definitely check that out. I highly recommend it. ManDIET Mobile. Okay, we have a mobile edition of this platform. It's literally just the website, but it just works on mobile. See? So there's a mobile version available. This is what it should look like. Okay? This is what the mobile version should look like. If your version does not look like this, please contact us. The contact form is open. Also, if your desktop version doesn't look like mine, right? The one that I showed you, all these. If it looks weird, please contact us. Okay? Because we want to make sure that we give you the best experience possible, and we do not know what is going on unless you tell us. So please contact us if you're having any issues. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to stay in touch with us, check out our Instagram, our Twitter. They're all linked in the description. And the updates page, which is on the website. Goodness, I'm out of breath. I need water. Updates page shows you everything that we're doing. So as you can see on August 31st, all the changes that we made that went live. Everything you can see on the updates page if you want to check out how the ManDIET is doing, okay? And last but not least, there is a playlist called Website Overview, which is on the website, and you can just click it in the top right of this screen, right? And it just has 26 videos at this point of just useful manga videos, okay? They're very short. This is the longest video on our channel, this one right here. So if you want to see those videos that are just useful to you if you like manga, highly recommend checking those out. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye.